he. What do you mean like who?
What do you mean like who? I mean like who?
Okay, so
why did Ange say? Why did Ange say at the end of August, "I'm happy with my squad"?
Yeah.
Why did Ange say? Because he was happy. He's not lying, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have injuries. What are you
he's
saying?
happy with the
I'm
players.
not having injury
If
excuses.
you're happy with your squad, right?
Yeah.
Not your starting 11, your squad. If you're happy with your squad, then make your squad work.
We had 12 injuries. 12.
Not all to first team players.
The squad is 25. Djed Spence wouldn't even be playing for Spurs if it wasn't for injuries. That's the manager's call. He would have been gone. That's the manager's vision on players.
That's an opinion.
Can I?
It's not an opinion.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact that Djed Spence. Djed Spence was on
Arian, hang on,
shipped
one
out of
second.
the squad
Hang on.
in pre-season.
No, I'm not letting you get away with that one.
Go ahead.
It is factual.
Perchy, in August 2023, Ange said he's open to listening for offers for Spence.
He wanted to sell him at least 3 times, by the way.
He didn't put him in the Europa Cup squad, Arian, this season.
He put 4 goalkeepers.
How can you get
one of you? Sorry.
A year ago, he said he's happy to hear offers for Spence. A year later, summer just gone, he said he's not in the Europa Cup squad. The only reason Spence is playing is because of those injuries. Ange had no interest in this player. Spence has proven Ange wrong. Spence has proven Ange wrong. It's not these are facts. That's what happened. Why wasn't Spence in the squad then?
It's not. Why is Spence in the squad?
No. Spence wasn't in the squad. He wasn't. He wasn't in the Europa Cup squad.
Spence was en route and this was consensus, not just from Ange, from everybody in the club. Everybody wanted Spence sold in the summer, and everyone here, right? We all clowned on like Invert the Wing for saying Spence was this incredible player. All this stuff is true.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on, Arian. Hang on a minute. No. I'm not.
You rated Djed Spence when he was on loan in Genoa. You rated Djed Spence, Perchy?
No. Hang on. I'm not. So hang on. Slow down.
It doesn't matter what we think. We're talking about Ange's decision.
Well, yeah, I would love to get there, but I spoke 2 sentences and I got.
Let me just finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Please.
What you've done is you conflated 2 different things in the whole conversation. You said, did I want him, or should he be registered in the Europa League squad? No, if I had my opinion, I would have sold him in the summer and bought someone better. But he didn't do that. He kept a hold of him because we didn't get rid of him, and then decided not to register him in the Europa League squad and registered 4 goalkeepers in the Europa League squad. He made that decision.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, whatever you think, that is factual information. That is what the manager made the decision to do.
Right.
The manager chose he would rather have.
But you say sure, right, but then you say that's not fact.
I would love to have gotten to that point, but I got interrupted by both of you at the same time.
No, because you said it wasn't fact, and it is fact.
No, what I said was not fact. No, here's what I said was fact. You said that the only reason Djed Spence is playing for Spurs right now is because of injuries. That's an opinion. It's not a fact. That's an opinion, and it's not a fact.
No, it is. No, all the fullbacks got injured, Arian. That's why he played.
Can we ask the obvious question? Let's all calm down and ask the obvious question. Okay, if it's not a fact, Arian, please tell me when Djed Spence started a game for Tottenham when all the other players were fit.
Coventry.
He didn't
start against Coventry.
He started in the. Was it against? He started one of the cup games, and I remember that for sure.
No, he didn't.
Right, so Arian, do you see their point? I do see their point. But Ange himself explained the decision to leave Spence out of the Europa League. Yeah, but it was pathetic, wasn't it? It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't based on anything. It was.
What was it based off?
He said he was making it difficult for Spence.
Why?
On purpose.
Why?
This is Spence's problem at Spurs for the 2 years he's been here, besides Ange, has been an attitude problem. And it was the reason he got sent back from Leeds. Managers challenge players like this. This is not Ange didn't invent this.
But hang on a minute. But the thing is this is the problem, right? And this is where I have an issue. Is I'll concede it. Let's just say he had an attitude problem. We don't actually know that.
Okay.
What is that? What was Ange's decision to do the other day?
What, to bench him against Man City?
Drop Spence, drop Spence.
The best defender we've had at the moment, he benched him. Which basically says is, thank you for basically covering my arse whilst we've got no problems. You've been our best player. You're now on the bench. Does that not show that there is favouritism from this manager?
No.
There isn't favouritism. So why did he not start against when?
No,
Statistically,
there's got to be some kind of favoritism.
I mean,
right?
I'm not even. Look,
Arian, let me just say this, yeah. For me, right? I said I was always kind of willing to give Ange a chance. I wasn't Ange out, Ange in, yeah. As soon as I said at the Ipswich game when I was there with Ben, I was like, I know Ange is going to drop Spence, and if he does, I'm Ange out, because to me there is something going on there. Why he's picking? Why you do not play the player who's just had 2 man of the match performances and a goal in his last game? He's been our best player for the second half of the season. Why would you drop this geezer? Like it's ridiculous.
Honestly. Tell you. It's an incredibly easy answer, actually.
Oh, man.
It's an incredibly easy answer. Me included, have been saying the squad needs rest, the squad needs rotation, Ange's the bigger squad. I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world if I say Ange's problem is that his squad is too small and there's too many injuries, and as soon as a lot of his players are available right now, which they are, he goes on and plays the same 11 every week and doesn't rest his players. That's what it is.
Arian, can I ask you a question about that then?
Oh,
yeah, I get it. Do you know what? I completely get it. I actually think you've got a really good point. Right? Is he needs to rotate more. When he does, we can't complain as fans. Is that your point? I get
absolutely,
it. Right?
Absolutely.
I 100% get it. But do you also concede that Djed Spence has started 9 games of football since August? Not right. Sure. 9 games of football. So when we're saying to rotate, and you don't need to rotate a bloke that's played 9 games of football all season for a bloke who's half fit in a doggy and just come back. Second of all, why is that the game where you've chosen to rest Kulu when you needed him to protect the right back? Like, surely
we have a Europa League knockout tie on Wednesday. That's why.
Sure, Aaron. Sure, but there's eight days in between the 2 games. Sure, if you were going to do that, can you imagine the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Uniteds, that for years and years and years have played 60, 70 games a year because they've been in Champions League, getting to finals, FA Cup finals. Can you imagine if they went, hang on, we've got a big game in eight games. Those clubs are going, shit, we've got a big game on Saturday, then on Tuesday, then on Friday, then on Wednesday. Right? So we get a game 8 days apart, and we're saying that Djed Spence, who's played 9 games of football all season, needs to be rested for 8 days' time, Arian. Come on, man.
Look.
But the point is Djed Spence actually played 4 games in a row, by the way. He missed the Leicester game. He played 4 games in a row because he had a knock and missed the Leicester game. So what we're seeing here, when we use the rest card, basically, it's the excuse because the favourite boys and Porro and Adogi are back. Yeah. Now Djed Spence is dropped.
Spence played 90 minutes for 6 games in a row leading up to the match.
No. That's incorrect.
No, it's not. Hang on, including all competitions.
5 games. Sorry, 5 games. We've got the programme here.
No,
5 games in a row.
5 games. He's a professional.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't look at the Elfsport game. Yeah, you're right.
He has played. His first start was against. His first start this season was against Man United in the League Cup quarter-final. He then played, and he got sent off against Forest. He was suspended for 1 game. He played 11 out of the next 17, or 16 less the suspension.
That's not a lot.
That is all. It's not like he's played 17 on the spin like Archie Gray did.
Not about 17 on the
He played 11 out of 17.
You've got to get Archie Gray in there, isn't it,
we got centre-back options back. Look, Archie Gray. You made a very good point bringing him up. Archie Gray played a lot of games center back until we needed help. And as soon as Davis came back, Archie Gray went back on the bench because he played so many games in a row.
And because he's not a centre back.
And because he's not a centre back, but also he performed. No. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. He, in my opinion, was performing better than Dragishin. If it was up to me on performance-wise who I'd keep, I'd fucking bench Dragishin and keep Gray. But because of how many games in a row Archie Gray had played.
Arian.
Yeah.
Why has Ange not once ever, as in ever, played Gray in midfield?
Because we haven't had the circumstances for it. Why? What do you mean?
We haven't had this.
No, we haven't.
All season, we haven't been able to play Archie Gray in midfield. Arian?
There was. Okay, if you want to get that semantic with me, there was a 20-minute period in a game he started.
Archie Gray was on the bench for the entire season until we got injuries at centre back. There was plenty of times to play him in the 6. He hasn't done it.
I don't understand. Whenever I speak to anybody that is pro-Ange, right? Whenever I speak to anyone that is pro-Ange, They can't seem to look at any of these obvious things. There seems to be a ready-made excuse for everything. My point is this. If we look down the road, right, imagine what we're seeing now, guys. Everybody in the chat, you, Arian, everyone on the panel. Imagine what we're seeing now was Arsenal. Imagine Arsenal were 13th in the table. Imagine Arsenal were knocked out of both cups like we were. Imagine Arsenal, right, had lost 14 of 27 league games, right? We would be looking at them going, how shit are they? That is awful. They're shit. When it's Spurs, I've heard today injuries, tiredness, Ange ball, blah, blah, blah. Like, Arian, surely you've seen this.
I don't
right?
need to pretend, Sava. We've seen Arsenal get knocked out by Olympiacos, finish 8th in the Premier League table.
Sure.
Just be genuine. I don't need to pretend. Okay, they've been in this spot.
No, they've never been in this spot. No,
When
they
did
haven't.
They've
Never been in this spot. They've never been in this spot. Arian.
Yes, in this specific spot where we're.
So why do you want us to copy Arsenal's model? At the start of the show, you said, look at
I
Arteta, he's been there for 5 years. So now you're dismissing Arsenal. Why do we want to copy their model?
I'm not dismissing them. You didn't let me finish my point. I'm saying they've been here. They've been shit. They've been.
They haven't been here.
Okay, they've been 3 places high. I think on points, on actual points, they're gonna probably finish, and we're gonna probably finish in the same place that they were. You know what? I'll actually look it up right now. How many points?
I've got Arsenal's finishes in front of me. I've got.
Why did Ange not bring on Dane Scarlett, the only number 9, when we needed a number 9 to score a goal against Man City? Why did he not bring him on?
He decided against it. Are you gonna tell me that Dane Scarlett would have changed the game and won us the game?
No, I'm saying he's a number 9, and we didn't have a number 9 on the pitch, and he was the only number 9 in the squad, and he didn't bring him on, and we were 1-0 down.
Here's the thing, Stelios. I'm gonna say this and this thing only. Ange it understands the game of football more than I do, more than everybody in this panel does.
I disagree. I disagree.
Okay, that's one thing I'm gonna say.
I disagree.
I need to call you out for this, Stel. I need to call you out for this.
Call me out.
Because a thing you do that genuinely just grinds my gears is you'll dismiss his coaching experience in Scotland and in Japan, and you'll bring up your own coaching experience in wherever the hell.
I don't dismiss his experience. I don't dismiss his experience. No, I dismiss his decision making at Spurs.
Okay, why? You're dismissing.
Because it's shit.
He's
making decisions
through a lens
because it doesn't work.
Please, one at a time, please.
Arian, I dismiss his decision making at Spurs because it's not working. And there's obvious things that I see that if he was just to do it, it makes us harder to beat and makes it better for the players we've got in this team.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Right? When people come out, this isn't just you, Arian. A lot of people use this. When people start failing in their debate, they fall upon. But they're a professional and you're not. Whichever way.
That's not my defense. I just wanted to call Stel out for this specific thing for a while.
But Arian, I hear this all the time. This whole kind of thing. You started this by saying, Ange knows more than everyone on this panel. Sure, right? He's a professional coach. Sure, right? If that was the answer for every football debate, no manager could ever be talked about by their fan base, right? No manager would ever be sacked.
Right.
I bring you back to my point, Arian, that you didn't answer. Why are all ex-top players, coaches, managers, pundits, why are they all looking at Spurs and saying, we're a tactical mess? Why are all of those guys that know just as much, if not more than Ange, why are they saying it then, Arian? It's not just Sava and his channel are saying it. Glenn Hoddle, our greatest ever player, said Spurs are a shambles, right? Harry Redknapp said he's just too wide open. He's got to shore it up. Every person, Arian, can see it. But we've got half our fan base that go, no, I see what he's doing. When I ask for evidence of that, I haven't heard a shred of evidence. I've heard hope. I've heard expectation. I don't hear a shred of evidence to say that he's doing well. Statistically, Aaron, we're on 1.22 points per game this season. Right. That is bloody disgusting, right? 1.22 points per game. Now, you say, but we had loads of injuries. We had 12 players out.
We did.
Cool. Yeah, sure. first of all, not all of them were first 11 players. Let's get that very clear.
Okay,
right?
I have the injury. I've been waiting for that one. I have the injury. list
Arian,
right
we
here.
all know. Arian, we all know the injuries.
We all know who is
That's
injured.
not my point. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Right. My other point is, Brighton have had more injuries than Spurs this year. Brighton are sitting 10 points above Spurs, right? With a manager that can adapt from a back three to a back four, right? And he's about 28 years of age or whatever he is, right? Bournemouth,
Okay.
right? Bournemouth have had so many injuries this season. I think they're just below us in the injury table, Bournemouth.
Yep.
They lost something like 1 in 15 Premier League games during their injury crisis. Why? Because their manager, Arian.
I'll tell you why in a minute.
No, you won't be able to tell me why, Arian, because
I will.
Their manager,
incredibly easy.
You're going to say because they don't play twice a week.
No, I'm not actually.
Right.
That would even be incredible.
Please tell me then why can Iriola and Fabian Herzler, who are much younger, inexperienced coaches with lesser squads, small stadiums, lesser budget, how are they during injury crisis able to not lose nearly every week? But Ange, who you said's got loads of experience, can't.
Because, Stel, for some reason, you want to dismiss our injury. Oh, my bad. That one I can see you. Sava.
That's okay.
That one's on me. Because, Sava, you're dismissing our injuries as if our first teamers were not injured. Let me read our injury list to you, and I'll read Bournemouth in a minute. Here was ours. This is the one against Everton. Okay, here's our injuries against Everton. Brennan Johnson, our second top goal scorer. Yves Bissouma, Vicario, Romero.
You just said Bissouma was shit.
He is shit. He's also a first team player. But also,
I see.
Okay, you know what? I'll only read the ones that aren't shit. I'll only read the ones that aren't shit.
I like that one, Arian.
No, read them all.
I'll only read the ones. No,